Okay, Likutei Halachos Apaim Nefilas Apaim Halacha Vav. So this is where we said that we are holding by Seif Vav. They said that this is the Bechina of 30 meters of Rachamim that comes from Tleisa Tikkun Dikno, that when Moshe Rabbeinu was Zerchet to be Mischazek, that there is no Yush in the Olam, not only Kodesh Baruch Hu, the Rachmanis and Kodesh Baruch Hu acquiesced and agreed. He revealed to him 30 midas shel rachamim. He revealed him the ultimate way to bring about the presidential pardon. The presidential pardon through the bakosha of Ayah. And this is what Moshe said, if you don't forgive them, if you don't atone for their sin, wipe me out, Kishem Yisrael, especially me of the tzaddik, Nimshach Mishmo Yisbarach, comes from the name of Kodesh Baruch Hu, Kishmo Mishuta V'Shmeinu. Kodesh Baruch Hu's name is one with our name, because the name is Kinefesh Chaya Hu Shmoi, the name of the living being is its life. That's the thing that holds them together, because otherwise it's just an undifferentiated chayas from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It has no name. It's not defined in any way. It's only one with Ein Sof. It's only once it has a name, it has a definition. This is the secret behind the fact that Hashem passed all the animals before Adam Arishon, and he called them names. Because it is by calling them names that he defined them and gave them a specific chayas. That's the way it is. A horse is a horse, a camel is a camel. Except, of course, for Mr. Fred, right? Okay, forget about that. Okay, you don't know about that. A horse is a horse, of course, except for Mr. Fred.
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed. Oh, there you go. No, I can't.
I didn't know you were talking about. You said Fred.
Fred. What is it? Fred Astaire. What's going on here? It's Mr. Ed.
It's a show also.
It's just... Better not just... It wasn't that funny. Let's put it this way. Okay.
Funny that you said Mr. Fred.
I know.
What are you talking about?
I think that there was one baseball thing lost to the famous Cincinnati Reds, the Red Machine. And they said they came out like Secretariat and we came out like Mr. Ed. They came like the biggest champion in the world ever, and we came out like talking horse. Television. Forget about it. B'kitzur, Nefesh Chaya Hu Shmoi. That's the koyach hadibur which is in the person. B'vchinas v'yi hodam nefesh chaya. As we said, Targum Ruach Memalal, we spoke about the fact that nefesh chaya, a living soul, is the ability to speak. And all the shemas, all the names, they're all revealed through the exposed ma'amoros, the exposed saying. But over there, in the Mama Sasam, everything is concealed. Everything is Elam Gadol. Everything is completely secret, because it's beyond all the shemas. And that's what Moshe Rabbeinu said, because otherwise it seems like what Moshe Rabbeinu is giving Hashem an ultimatum. If you don't forgive them, wipe me out. What is he saying here? Ken tell Moshe that was a taina, that Moshe taina. In other words, that was this is how he defended Am Yisrael. Vim ein. In other words, if it's impossible, to atone and to carry, to be sevel chatasam, and to atone for Am Yisrael mitokef hadin, according to regular justice, in the regular, court system, al de otzem chetam, because their sin is so great, shegomu lahalim merachamim kol kach, because they have caused through their averas, such a concealment of the rachamim to such a point. Ki ikar adin, because the main severity of the din is a direct result of the aloma and the esther, of the concealment and the hiding. Shubchinas tokef atzimtzum shemisham ikar adin. That's the firmness and the harshness of the constriction. This is where the din comes from. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu says, V'im ayin. And if we're talking about a situation where when Am Yisrael have, damaged so much from the exposed Mamoras, that's it. There's no court in the world that will ever acquit them. So erase me from your sefer. In other words, I mevatel myself to the very root of the aloma, to the very root of the concealment, to the very root of the hastara, to the very root of the hiding, that there is above all the names. And over there, then you can pardon even if they totally don't deserve it, because that's presidential pardon. That's the kesser. That is the tikkun at all times, is to reveal the Hastara, to bring that Bechi of Ayah Bereshis, where the very, very beginning, the Mama Sosa, to bring from there all the Ma'amaras and Skalim, to reveal them, from being concealed to being revealed, and to be Megala, the name and the Kol of the Kodesh Baruch Hu. B'chinas Oise Niflas Lavadei. Oise Niflas Lavadei, the Pele is the typification of the Spheres HaKesar. Because Pele, when you say, wow, this is a wonder. Any other way, if you can explain in a linear way, like, how did you do that? I did it this way, and then the next step this, and that's the next step, and the next step, and then I got it. So that's natural, that's normal. What is Pella? Pella is something happened that there's no process that leads to it. It's just like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? It's just like, it has nothing to do, with, there's no natural way of getting there. You can see there many times, with artists, or even with athletes. You have what you call a natural genius, and there's what you call a magical genius. A natural genius is somebody who, if you were a lot better than you are, you'd be able to do what he can do. Anybody can hit a baseball. You take an average major leaguer. If you were able to hit a baseball a lot better than you can, you could do what it could do. That's what you call a natural genius. You hear you saying it's just somebody who has an unbelievable capacity. In other words, the volume control on his ability is all the way up to 11. Okay? That's a natural genius. But then there are those, artists, athletes, that even after you see what they do, you still don't get how they did it. It's not a continuation. It's just like something that came from outer space. It's an alien. It's like, if you were able to do this and this and this, you'll be able to. You can't. It's not a... Pella denotes something which, like, there's no way to get to it in a step-by-step manner. That's why it's called Bamufla Mimcha Al Tidrosh. That which is mufla, that which is hidden from you, that which is separate from you, not like a separate being, don't try to figure it out, because it's not linearly tied to where you are. That if you'll be a lot smarter, you'll be able to get it. No, it's a different kind of like. That's why Pella is the Nikud of Keser. That's why Keser is called Atik. Atik means it's removed. It's Ha'atoko le'atik means is to move away. So it says Atik Yomin, it means that these are removed. The Keser is removed. In other words, it doesn't belong. It's not a natural continuation. It's not a linear continuation of anything that came kaviyachol before it that leads to it. That's why it's called Atik. That's why it's called Pella Elyon. That's what and that's what it's called when you want to say that the sages won't be able to grasp it. He says, "V'niflo chochmas chachamav." So the wisdom of the sages would be like in a state of wonderment, like what time out? What was that? In other words, I totally have no grasp on it. This is enough pellet. You have a miracle going on. It doesn't belong to reality, it's just something that came out. This is a pellet. So this is the whole idea of the oise nifloes levodai. The Kadosh Baruch Hu alone does nifloes. The thing that Kadosh Baruch Hu does is b'chinas pella, is b'chinas keser, is b'chinas something which is not linearly connected to what we understand as was b'chinas keser bereishis ma'amar sasam. That is the whole essence of what Bereshis, Ma'amar Sasum, Keser are all about. They're all one thing. And what do you have to do? What you need to do is you have to bring about and to draw from there the Isgalus of Shem Kavoidoi, the name and the covet of Kodesh Baruch Hu. By the Kodesh Baruch Hu himself, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. It's one. There's no way to comprehend how from one, which is not just, one and there's something outside it, like there's one, so afterwards there's two, there's three. The oneness of a Kodesh Baruch Hu is a oneness of everything. Kodesh Baruch Hu is everything. So in such a way you can say, sort of, that he is one, because if everything is just one thing, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu is one. But really, the oneness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is way beyond one. This is what Kabbalah says, before one, what do you count before one? There's not, you can count, you can say that it's one because there's no other word for it. But the HaKadosh Baruch Hu has no beginning and he has no end. Okay? One is only, in human terms that you can understand, the word one is something that begins and ends. This is one cup. Oh. Okay, this is one, stops here, ends here. It's one cup. Okay. But if it was everything, what do you mean one? When you saying Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't begin, this is how we, with human logic, define doesn't exist. How do you say something that doesn't exist? It doesn't begin. Right? So that's the definition of non-existence. It doesn't begin. On the other hand, what is the ultimate definition of isness, of existence? It never ends. Right? It's so much existing that it never, ever, ever, ever ends. So what do you call something that doesn't begin and doesn't end? There are no words for it. You understand in your Koyach HaNadama that when I'm saying doesn't begin, it doesn't mean that it does not exist. It means that it always exists, it always existed. We understand that. But per definition, there's no way that we can define it. To say something which is one, it has to begin. Here, it is one cup, one person, one book. So the Loshan Mushal, to say that Kodesh Baruch Hu is one, is a bria fazich. Is Kodesh Baruch Hu gave us a special permission to say Hashem Echad. Because really Kodesh Baruch Hu, the oneness, the singularity of Kodesh Baruch Hu is beyond the word Echad. Because Echad is the way that the way that we define it is something that has a beginning and end, and there's a continuation. If there's one, there's two. If there's two, there's three, and so forth and so on. But that kind of echad that Kadosh Baruch Hu is, there is no other. There's no place for anything else. Okay? Because that oneness is everything. So the Rabbeinu says that the biggest peril that there is how can the plural, the many, come out of the total oneness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How can there be? There's no place for anything else. What can you add to everything? Everything, and there's no end to everything. Otherwise it's not everything, right? Everything means everything. So how could there be and me, and you, and the table, and there's no end to everything. Everything means everything. Well, that's the biggest spell of them all. How can a Kadosh Baruch Hu can make the world with the nifradim, what the Rabbeinu calls the mishtanim, the changeables, how they come out of Echad HaPoshat, of the simple, the absolute one, which we say one is just, a human term. Really, we're talking about something which is beyond one. We should call it everything. Okay? So the Indian is, the avodah is always to get out of that totally impossible to understand everything. Lois and Nefilas gedolos levado yitkinas keser bereishis baruch Shem kvoido loilam. You have to bring his kvoido means it's revealed. You have to be mamshich his gal Shem kvoido through the open ma'amoras that come out of there. Shal yodo meirim kol shemus. Once you bring them out, all the shemus shine. Shal dezen is gal kvoido is baruch ba'olam. Then the Kodesh Baruch Hu is being revealed in the world. The Kodesh Baruch Hu is revealed in the world with all his midah. Every single midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from the 10 spheres, reveals Kiviyocho, another aspect on the perfection of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you're saying that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is B'chinas Aye, is B'chinas Ma, is B'chinas Mi, he is where, he is what, he is who, okay? And then is B'chinas Chesed, he is kindness. So the mitzvah of Kodesh Baruch Hu is, Kodesh Baruch Hu itself is totally narrow, but we can see a little bit from his actions. So when there's action of Rachmanis, this is a Chesed. So we see that Kodesh Baruch Hu is a Rachman. So the sphere of Chesed is one revelation of the aspect of Kodesh Baruch Hu. And there's Gvura. Kodesh Baruch Hu is mighty. That's another aspect of Kodesh Baruch Hu. Then there's Tiferes, there's the glory, there's the splendor. And every single sphere is just a new, for us human beings, wow, wow. And now there is galus, and now there's we see HaKadosh Baruch Hu from different angles, kaviyah, so to speak. So all the tachlis is to bring from tachlis ha'el, HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself is totally, unfathomable, totally beyond comprehension. You cannot understand anything. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a permission, to call him one, and from there, he says, to bring that from Elam, from hiding, from totally, inability to comprehend, to bring it to specific is galus. There's a Kel, there's Elokim, there's Hashem, there is Kel Tzvokos. Each one is a different revelation of a midah, of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, for which we get to know him, according to our. That's what we need to do in our world. This is what reveals the Kodesh Baruch Hu until we reach a situation with Hashem, Shvimalek v'does kol ha'aretz, that the Kodesh Baruch Hu will fill the land. V'zeh kol avodas ha'adam l'Torah mitzvahs. That is everything that man does through Torah mitzvahs. Aval akat shechoto kol kach. Now that Am Yisrael made such an avera, until you don't want to be moichel to them, because this Gabris Aloma is so harsh, is so complete. So please, totally mechein mitzifrecha, totally
remove yourself.
No, I'm saying move a little bit to the side.
Right.
Yeah.
Remove yourself.
No.
That's what you said.
No. The talk is Gabris Aloma. So remove me from your sefer. Because I don't want any chayas that comes from the Mamoros and Misgal. Moshe Rabbeinu says, I don't want any chayas that comes from the open sayings. All the names come from, which are the chiyas. I want Dafka to be totally included in Prinas Aye, the Mama Sasa, because I'm happy to search and beseech there, your Rachmanas, forever until you forgive them. Ve'im Ayin, in other words, I will be, and if you don't, I will remain there forever, asking, looking for, searching for, of the Mamos. I'll never leave it. This is B'chinas Mechayina. This means erase me, because over there in Mamos Sasam, it's not Shaykh, no name. There's no name is Shaykh over there. In other words, Moshe Rabbeinu was totally resolute. The bevadei des rachme by Kodesh Baruch Hu, that through them, Kodesh Baruch Hu will forgive the Chet Egel also. Only what? It is impossible to find them because they are so concealed, they are so hidden. And that is where the din comes from. That's why he said that he's willing to get to the very core of the hiding and to search for Kodesh Baruch Hu forever, for the rachme Kodesh Baruch Hu forever. Because this is the Isgalus Shem Kavod. Because the din, the verdict, is the hiding of the name of Kodesh Baruch Hu. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm perfectly happy to remain hidden forever. This is Mechias Hashem. This is like erasing the Shem. And Mechenina, that he will stay there and he will look and he will search for Ayin forever. And that is the thing that convinced the Kodesh Baruch Hu. That's why Kodesh Baruch Hu was appeased. And he revealed the 30 midos of Rachamim. And he was able to reveal from the hiding, from the concealment, to Gilui, such Rachamim that never, ever, ever ends. The 30 midos of Rachamim never end. They always work. And everything was what? On the resoluteness of looking and searching for the ayin. That Moshe Rabbeinu says, you know something? We all want to get somewhere. Let me sit. Like even now he said to Rus, that I will look for you for a resting place that'll be good for you. An apartment that you can stay, a house that you can buy, a job that you can stay in. Everybody's looking, for menucha. I want to achieve something. I want to become something. I want to be El Chayid, I want to become a tzaddik, I want to become this, I want to become that. I want to I want to feel that I'm somewhere. But the Ikar Avodas Hashem that Moshe Rabbeinu reveals is, I'm willing to be a wanderer who searches forever. In other words, Kiviyachol, I don't get anywhere ever. I never become a somebody. I never start, oh, he's Steve Jobs, he created Apple, he made it. He's Steven Spielberg, he made movies, he made it, okay? I'm Arpichas Grundman, I never made anything. Okay, fine. So I'm a bum. But Moshe Rabbeinu says the searching alone is it. This is it. This is the, and now this is, we'll continue with Hashem with the Bura, and one that actually speaks about that.